McDonald's is the #1 fast food chain in the entire world, and it ain't close. I've said this before. I've covered McDonald's before. And despite Subway having more restaurants and more stores across the country than McDonald's has, they still only rank at a #3, okay? A #3 on the top 10 list of fast food restaurant sales. And actually, I myself found that kind of surprising because I never go to Subway, all right? I know people love it, but I never go there. But I still found it surprising to find them at the top 3 spot. But hey, look, people have been convinced that eating an entire loaf of bread is somehow healthy. But anyway, look, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm simply here to share the data. And McDonald's is #1 in terms of revenue, raking in $37 billion, that's capital B, in sales worldwide. And the second most profitable chain by revenue is Starbucks. Okay, Americans really love their morning coffee. They're sitting at around $13 billion in U.S. sales. And although $13 billion is certainly nothing to scoff at, it pales in comparison to the $37 billion McDonald's and the McCafe is raking in currently. So the numbers don't lie. Obviously, McDonald's remains at the top of the mountain alone as the clear monolith of the fast food industry. But in order to stay at the top, one thing great companies and people know is that competition is always on your heels. And for that reason, you have to stay innovative, right? You have to stay resourceful, and you have to stay ahead of the curve. You have to stay consistently finding ways to reinvent yourself. Even when you're #1, you cannot rest. And in order to do that, McDonald's has soft launched an entire new franchise called Cosmic.
All right, we're just days away from the new Cosmic's restaurant by McDonald's opening up, and we have the full menu, including new McFlurries, new sandwiches, new ice cream, new drinks. There's a whole lot of cool stuff. Let's check it out. The focus is definitely on drinks at Cosmic's, and they've got the signature Galactic Boost. This has some of like what looks to be slushes. They've got some of their lemonades. All of this to give you a pick-me-up in the morning. They've got a wide range of lemonades, tropical spiceade, sour tango lemonade, island pick-me-up, berry hibiscus, so a ton of flavors you can't get at McDonald's. They also have a lot of different teas, so they've got blackberry and mint green tea, then you've got all your basics like sweet tea, half and half, black tea, all that stuff. You've got your iced green tea, you've got the blueberry ginger boost, which actually sounds pretty solid. The slushes and frappes and frappes, however you want to say it, is where the menu gets pretty cool because they've got the slushes like the sour cherry energy, but the chai frappe and the popping pear slush, those have boba in it, which you can't get at McDonald's normally. Pomegranate hibiscus slush, that's definitely a flavor you're not going to see. Then I just want to point out that churro frappe because that one sounds really good, and then they have a cold brew as well. They've got a whole big brew section. This is going to take on Starbucks for sure. They've got lattes, cappuccinos. They've got all sorts of different tea mixes. Lots of the standard stuff you'd see: mocha, brewed coffee, black tea, green tea, peppermint tea, hot chocolate. They've got a s'mores cold brew, which looks really good to me. And then they've got everything in ice latte, iced chai tea latte, iced coffee, all of the different iced teas you might want. And as we mentioned before, they're going to have egg McMuffins all day long. Obviously, you can get it with egg. You can get the bacon McMuffin with egg. And this is one that I think a lot of people were excited about. They also have a spicy queso sandwich and a creamy avocado tomatillo sandwich they get in addition to the McMuffins. The bites is another section I think is pretty exciting. They have the savory hash brown bites. I'm wondering if those are going to be like little crispy crowns or something. And pretzel bites. They have a snack box, which is kind of interesting. And then these McPops, which you need to look at by themselves. These McPops are something they sell internationally. And basically they're like these mini donuts that are filled. So they've got one filled with cookie butter, apple, cinnamon, hazelnut, and then you get a mixed bag. I am very excited to give these a try. There aren't too many other baked good items, but they have sea salt chocolate chip cookies, blueberry lemon cookies, and that caramel fudge brownie sounds really good. Now this is what I'm excited about too, because this has a new strawberry and cookie McFlurry, blueberry lemon cookie sundae, caramel fudge brownie sundae, in addition to the traditional McFlurries of Oreo and M&M. They also have the traditional sundaes like hot fudge and caramel. This is something that is going to definitely differentiate from McDonald's, and I absolutely cannot wait to try them.
Okay, so that was a little piece of what Cosmic is going to be like when you pull up. Again, it is walk up, this drive-through only, more of like a Sonic style type of delivery service as far as receiving your food and your items. But right quick, I want to read this article that talks about Cosmic and the direction that McDonald's is looking to go in and what their purpose is for this particular new chain that they're starting. So it says that McDonald's announced on Wednesday that it is piloting a new cafe concept called Cosmics, which will mostly sell indulgent, highly customizable caffeinated beverages with some food. The first Cosmics location is now open in Illinois, and 9 more are planned in Texas in the coming months. For many, the news probably raised one main question: why? Why is a chain that's basically synonymous with burgers suddenly interested in selling sugary coffee drinks? And why not just add those options to the menu at existing McDonald's locations rather than launch an entirely new brand? And perhaps most pressingly, why name it Cosmics? Well, I found out, for one, I can answer that one, that Cosmics was actually the name of a former, I guess, mascot or character that was showcased. I know you all remember the Hamburglar and, Ronald McDonald, those characters that have largely been done away with now. But I guess Cosmic was one of the original characters that McDonald's had in their promotions, right? So I believe that is where the name Cosmic originates from. It says, here, I'm going to skip ahead to the good stuff. I don't want to read all this. Here, it says, beverages are a lucrative market, and those wildly customizable coffee drinks, like the kind Starbucks is known for, especially so, right? And that is what I think they're doing here. Honestly, we're going to get to it. It says, there's no category that has really performed better this year than specialty coffee, said David Porterlatin, Senior Vice President and Food Industry Advisor at Circana, who noted that sales of specialty coffee at quick service restaurants have risen this year compared to last. But you can't just plop a bunch of customizable coffee drinks onto McDonald's menu. Doing that would slow down kitchens and service times and could confuse customers. So they're basically saying, look, if we added all of the ideas and the customizable drinks that we want to add to this menu at existing McDonald's restaurants, it would be a catastrophe. Why? Because now you have this influx of new drinks, new items on the menu that we have to go and create, which means our employees are going to be the ones that feel that effect the most, right? They're going to be the ones that have to make all these new drinks. They're going to have to be the ones behind the register scrambling around. I don't know if you've ever been inside of a Starbucks during a busy time, but it is absolute madness, okay? You got employees running around in circles pretty much, trying to get those orders filled and people taken care of. And so they're saying, look, if we did that, we threw a bunch of stuff onto the menu, we would absolutely slow down. We're going to affect our revenue because it's going to affect our timetable as far as getting customers in and out the door. As far as servicing customers, it's going to slow down dramatically, which we all know is going to piss people off. And they're going to be like, look, I'm not waiting here. I'm going to pull off and go somewhere else. Everybody doesn't have the time to wait around, especially in the mornings, to wait around for, a half hour to get a cup of coffee, right? So they're saying is that stuff, those type of things would affect the business dramatically. So they decided, look, let's just create a separate chain for it. I think it's a brilliant idea. Let's keep reading. It says, so to try to break into the market without messing up its regular business, McDonald's is giving something totally new a shot. It says, why McDonald's wants in on specialty coffee. You might think that burgers are king at McDonald's and drinks little more than water, sugar, and flavorings. But for restaurants, drinks, especially those kinds, are cash cows. The profit margin on a beverage is just humongous, said John Gordon. It says that a restaurant can see a gross profit margin of up to around 80% when selling beverages, he said, far higher than the margin for food. Plus, he added, when people visit a cafe for a drink, they often end up buying something to eat as well. And in the U.S., coffee shops are a growing category, he said. McDonald's doesn't want to be left behind. So they're basically saying, look, all the money that y'all think that we make off of the food, it's really coming from the beverages and the drinks because we can upcharge people an exorbitant fee for those drinks, right? That's what Starbucks does, and that's why they're one of the top businesses as far as morning breakfast needs go in the industry, right? So let's continue. says, beyond being left behind, McDonald's is always looking to grow the business, as I said before, in new ways, even as Americans are already intimately familiar with the Big Mac. During an investor event on Wednesday, McDonald's CEO Chris said that one area of focus has been identifying ways for McDonald's to participate in attractive and fast-growing categories. We've honed in on specialty beverages and coffee. McDonald's, he said, could use specialty coffee to help it compete in the afternoons, using caffeine and sugar to entice people to come in for a quick pick-me-up between meals. So they're targeting afternoons with this, not so much the mornings and breakfast time slot, right? Says McDonald's already serves coffee at its locations, but it doesn't have the types of customizable espresso drinks, teas, and other beverages that have helped raise sales for places like Starbucks. So they're absolutely looking to compete. And I think it's a phenomenal choice. I think it's a phenomenal business idea. I think that they're going to knock this out of the park. I think it's going to be incredible for their investors, and just especially for people like me. Like, I'm a foodie, right? I like trying new items, especially desserts and drinks. So this is right up my alley, right? This is really my steez right here. And unfortunately, the soft launch is currently only in a couple states. I think the first one was Illinois, which is their headquarters. And then they've got 9 more of these planned to open up in the state of Texas, right? But aside from experiencing the new items, as an investor and a shareholder in McDonald's, I'm always thinking about how this comes back down to the money and the investor and how it affects our pocketbooks when we are looking at this as a future investment long term. And right now, I'm seeing this new venture as a competitor to go head-to-head, basically, against Starbucks for that #1 breakfast coffee, early morning spot, afternoon spot. I know they said they're focusing on afternoons, but I think this is going to be a huge deal in the mornings as well, right? So they're basically trying to capture more of that heavy traffic in the afternoon when people are trying to, grab something quickly on the way home, maybe after they leave work. And so I think it's going to turn out for them to be a very lucrative venture. And they got the snack wrap coming back too. So McDonald's is just hitting on all cylinders right now. The Cosmic franchise is absolutely strategic. And if it's successful, which I think it will be, this could pay off in a massive way again, company-wise. And of course, that will translate into earnings and make a lot of their shareholders very happy. But listen, you all let me know what you think about this Cosmic idea. If it hits your city, are you going to try it out? Are you going to pass? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. To all of my investors, I suggest you keep your eyes on this one. It could pay off in the future in a very major way. Catch you all in the next video. Remember to invest diligently, but more importantly, invest responsibly. All right?